Dr Liam Fox, the MP for North Somerset and a supporter of Rishi Sunak. He's with us in the studio. Good morning to you, Dr.
Good morning.
Fox. Lovely to have you with you. We'll talk a little bit about heat later because I think you've got some advice for us. But first, what did you think of last night's debate? How did your man Rishi do?
I thought he did extremely well. I thought he was head and shoulders above the other candidates in that debate. And the reason I say that is that, of course, we're electing a Prime Minister. This is not a leader of the opposition. This is someone who will have to be the Prime Minister in about 7 weeks' time. And I thought he had a better grasp of the detail. I thought he was very clear in what he was saying. He was relaxed and he was confident. And I thought he just looked like someone who could be the Prime Minister.
I mean, most people say he probably was the best performer, but do you find the sort of the sniping that's going on uncomfortable to watch?
Well, you know, when you have a contest with the leader of a party, you have to expect that it's a genuine contest, and it's nice to hear.
But it's getting personal, isn't it? You can see there are some points there which are getting personal. Well, I mean, Liz and Rishi couldn't barely look at each other last night.
There are, but when you're an elected politician and you're comparing it to the House of Commons, last night was quite tame compared to what we're used to.
Yeah, and I think but that's opposition. You guys are on the same team.
Well, and of course, what I think was good about the debate last night was that when we come together after the contest, you can see the very rich reservoir of talent that we have to choose from.
I mean, Rishi Sunak perhaps came across out on top in a number of opinion polls, but he doesn't seem to be doing that well with the Conservative Party members, who, of course, he'll have to do well with if he's going to win. Why is that?
Well, he's won both ballots so far, which I would say was pretty good.
That's MPs.
And in a big field. A big field, and we'll see amongst the members when the members get to choose. The members don't know who the two candidates are yet going to be. But I think that what was very interesting about the debate was one point that Rishi Sunak said, which was, if the Conservative Party is not the party of sound money, then what is it about? And I think that lies in a lot of this debate. Now, the one thing that's very clear is that all the candidates want to cut tax. That's what Conservatives want to do. The question is, when is the appropriate time to do that? And I think that when you see that Rishi's plan has been endorsed by 3 previous Conservative chancellors, you have to earn tax cuts. The economy has to be in good shape to do that. Otherwise, you're simply borrowing more money, and that falls onto the next generation. And I don't think that's either economically sensible nor morally acceptable.
No, and he made the point forcefully, and you make it there, but that doesn't seem to be cutting through with Conservative members, because if you look at the head-to-heads, Rishi versus anyone, he actually, apart from against Tom Tugendhat and Penny Mordaunt by just, he's actually behind on the other two. Well,
when you talk about Conservative members, you're actually talking about readers of the Conservative Home website.
Correct.
So that's not the same as Conservative members. And
you don't think it's a fair representation of the way that the grassroots feel?
Well, when I spoke to my members at the weekend and I had my constituency executive, that wasn't how they felt. And they felt that Rishi Sunak had been performing the best of the candidates. And it's not surprising he's been the Chancellor. He's across all the detail of government, as you would expect a good Chancellor to be, and I think that comes across.
Yeah, and we've seen that he's put out a new ad for himself just before the debate. I think we can take a little look at it now as well. This is laying out his credentials as a Brexiter.
He campaigned relentlessly during the referendum, where others argued for Remain.
Oh, others argued for Remain, in a picture there of Liz Truss. That's not very nice politics, is it?
Well, I think the key thing about him and Brexit is that he was a young MP. I know that he had a lot of pressure put on him by the David Cameron team. When you're a young MP and the Prime Minister phones up and says, don't do this, but won't be good for your career, there's a strong temptation to follow that line. But he didn't. He said, I believe in Brexit. It's something that drives me politically, and I'm going to campaign for it, whatever the cost to me in terms of early political career. I think that says a lot about someone, and frankly, I think that's what leadership is all about.
I mean, how do you think he dealt with some of the personal attacks that have come at him over the past couple of days? I think last night he did pause and try and talk about his story and his family's story, and he told a story about his father-in-law.
I think it was great to hear someone talking that way about someone who's come with almost no money, built up a great fortune. That is what our country's wealth is based upon. And I think that defence of the creation of wealth is really important, because we need to build up more wealth in this country. If we don't build up wealth, how do we fund our public services? So I think it was great to hear that. It was great in a sense, in the sort of academic sense of making the point about why Conservatives believe in wealth creation, but I think it was also a very human story that a lot of people can relate to, about people who come to this country, they work hard, they build up, and they do well, and you know that's the great thing about our country.
And Rishi, of course, is looking forward to the final debates to be held on Tuesday if he makes it through.
I'm pretty sure he'll make it through. And, you know, he's a consummate debater. He's extremely good at the dispatch box in the House of Commons. He's very fluent, very confident. I think that came across. And as I said, he strikes me as every inch someone who's ready to be the Prime Minister in just a few weeks' time.
OK, Dr Fox, do appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much for being with us.